We are back. Part 3, probably the final, I'm thinking. So, it was left overnight. Everything is glued and perfect. Now, like I said, I'm going to leave this here because I need to find a purple bow. And I don't have one right now. So I need to find one. But we're going to set her aside. We're going to set this aside, actually, because we don't need it right now for the rest of this. Now, the fun part. Putting her together. Putting her together. It's going to be so fun. All right. So, you got your polyfill. Make sure you have your polyfill. And I have a bunch that is in my way, so I'm just going to move it. Okay. Now, this doll is from Temu, and I looked it up. It's on iCradle, so you can search their store on Temu to find this particular little baby. And we need her limbs. I would still recommend washing her first. So the day that you get her, before you start, make sure that you wash the kit with, Dawn soap or baby shampoo or whatever. Make sure that you wash her, okay? I don't know if I did. I probably did. I more than likely did. Now you want to kind of place these where they're in the correct order because you do not want to put this together wrong. Okay, so what we're going to do first is that we're going to weight the legs because we need to put the legs in here before we put the butt in, okay? And if you have big hands, this is kind of be hard for you. I like to put the legs in first, that way the butt has some place to go and it's not going to fall out. So that's what I'm going to do first. So I know I need, clean this out. We're going to do the bum, so I'm going to use this one. So we're going to have to make a knot on the end. Okay, make a knot on the end. We have a knot. We're going to do another knot when we get this filled on this side. Okay. All right, so here's our glass beads. And I kind of know how much I want her to weigh. Usually, this is a old Sprite or Mountain Dew bottle, and I just cut it off kind of just above the crease here. And I know if I fill this up to that, it's gonna be about right per leg, but I don't know, it depends. Now, as soon as I get this in here, let me show you what I do. Okay, so I almost put all of it in, okay? You're gonna tap it down. You're gonna kind of get it all into the feet, and you can tell when you squeeze it where it is. Now, the glass beads that I have right now in here are about right here. And if you want your baby to be kind of floppy and easy to move around and all that, I would not do much more, okay? Just above the knee on any doll. So, I'm actually going to add a little bit more. Okay. So I didn't quite use it all. So it's about where the crease is right here, is where it is. I don't know if you can see in there. Yeah. Okay, now we're going to take some of this polyfill. Now you can buy plugs and do all that. I did that in the beginning because I thought I had to. You really don't have to. I have a piece of cardboard somewhere right there. And we're going to make little round piece to go in here. Okay, so that's all stuffed with that. So that's going to keep the beads down there. And like anything else over time, things settle. So the foam, this stuff in here is going to settle. So I got a piece of cardboard, and I am going to draw, because you've got the hole here, and I tend to either use the round of this to see if it's going to fit, which it is, or the round of the glue, which is bigger. It's probably going to be for the head. And, you know, you just see. So you just draw, and I got this circle, something circled, you know. That's going to be too big. So I'm thinking the end of the bottle is going to be sufficient. And for the legs, you're going to need 2 of them. So I just kind of make a thing. And you're going to cut 2 of these out. You're actually going to cut 5. The head, the arms, and the feet. Okay. But I'll do it with you, along with you as we go. And then you're gonna, I'm glad I don't have nails on right now, because sometimes this is hard to do. So now that is sealed in there. Some people take a big old glob of hot glue and put that in there. I'm not gonna do that with this. I'm not gonna do that with her. So I'm gonna fill this up a little bit more, because we're gonna do the same to the other side. And this squeezes pretty good, so I don't have to worry about it falling. And depending on how, like these 2 legs are both bent, so that's pretty good. So it's about the same as the other one. It's about the same. So we're going to take some more polyfill and fill it up. Put it in here. This isn't going to take long. What takes long is if you got to put a magnet in, and because you got to let it dry and all that kind of stuff. I'm doing a little extra with her because she has painted hair, and if I decide to make her a boy, I can and just take this off. But if I want it to be a girl, I can do that. Okay, so now we're going to draw another one of these on here. And cut it out. And it does not have to be perfect round, just round, so it'll fit in there. Okay, so we're gonna stick that in here. Like I said, I'm glad I don't have nails on. So I just want it to be underneath the rim. Now, one thing with these, when we put the zip ties in, we want them to be tight enough that it's not going to fall out, but we want it to be loose enough where you can move it. And as we go here, you can use glue. I'm actually going to use my my gloss stuff that I have. You can use, I don't know, it just makes it so it slides better. So while we're putting the glass beads on, I'm just going to put this around. You don't have to do this. You can, like I said, not do it as tight, but tight enough where it's not going to come undone. Okay. So that's going to dry. I'm actually going to do it around the arms too while we're right here. And this stuff dries pretty quick. And it just makes it so it doesn't, there's something slippery around it that is not on the vinyl. If you get some on, just take it off. And then just do one a little bit around. Like I said, you don't have to. You can get rings. They are a pain in the neck to put on. Just warning you. They are not easy to use at all. They are not easy to use at all. And you can buy this varnish at Walmart. It's just DuraClear gloss. You can get it online, get it on Amazon. I use this to do the fingernails, the lips, put some little drops in the eyes and stuff. That's what I use to make it kind of shiny. Okay, now we're going to do the same thing with the arms. Okay, I just fill it up. I won't use as much. This baby is probably, I'm guessing, it's going to weigh 3.5 to 4 something pounds when I'm done, which for me is a good weight. Between 3 and 4 pounds is awesome for a newborn size doll. I'm going to put that in there. Okay, now like this, I did it to right here. It's filled up more, but not really. Okay, and you can fill it up as, if you want to fill it up all the way, fill it up all the way. But you don't. You just have to put more polyfill in it, you know. And I have a scale up here. And after we're done, as soon as we get her all filled up, we will weight her with nothing, no clothes on or nothing. And we will weight her, see how much she weighs. Okay, this one is a smaller hole. Is a way smaller hole. I'm still going to use this, but probably make it a little bit smaller to cut out. It just needs a little bit. And if you can't get it in, you can make it smaller. You can kind of, once you do these enough, you can kind of guesstimate about how big you need to do it. Okay, this one I think is going to be too big. So, let me see. This one's okay. You just got to get it underneath the rim on the inside. Okay, so we need to cut this one a little bit. Okay, now we'll put the rest of this in here. Put a little more. So you're going to need glass beads for the limbs, the body, and the head. And I'm going to show you how we're going to do that. Right. I'll show you. Okay. Let's put, we're almost done with the limbs. Then we're going to do the bum, and then we're going to make a head, and then the body. And you can weight the body any way you want. If you don't want to use glass beads, you can use poly pellets, which is not as heavy. Right here, that's what it looks like. You can use poly pellets if you'd like. I think I've only used that. You can't put the poly pellets in the vinyl. It can only be used in the cloth body. Okay, that fit perfect. There we go. Okay, so the limbs are done. So I actually want to show you how to put, we're going to need 2 zip ties. And depending on how you do these, I like to do them this way, so that when you put them on there, they're on the right, correct way. So, and you want to make sure that you put together right. Make sure the right is right and the left is left, or you're going to have a funky looking baby. So you want to make sure that you do that. Okay, I tend to get it to where it snaps a little bit. Okay, so this is the front. Okay, this is the left leg, and I will show you what I mean by you want to put the sometimes it's hard to get this going, so you do have to get it going, but you want it to be, you can do it loose, okay? Now it's loose and it's not going to fall off. That's what I'm talking about. I actually probably did it a little too tight, but it's okay. And I just kind of start it and then get the leg inside there. Okay, kind of do this so you can see. Okay, that one I didn't do as tight. And it's going to be easier to move once you get it all together. So now we have the little girl legs together. Now we can put her bum in. Okay, you could put the arms on too if you want, but I like to do it this way. So we are going to take probably one of these, maybe a little bit more. So here's the round, right? So let me clean this off. We are going to take this, kind of put it in, flatten it a little, right? And then we're going to make a complete bum like that, okay? So let's tie this up. I'm glad I don't have fingernails on today to do this, to show you, because this would be a pain in the butt, really. All right, so you want that tight. Okay, so now we have a little pudgy. Now we're going to put it down like this, make it a nice loaf like that. We're going to take a zip tie, slip it underneath here, and we're going to try to find the middle. And we got a bum, okay? Then you're going to take your clippers and cut this. Make sure you don't cut the nylon. Okay, now we have a little bum. So now we're going to put this in here. Put it down in there. Okay, put your hand in. Because we got the perfect little butt. So I put my hand in here. One side is right here, one side right here. Just like that. And we're going to fill with some polyfill. Okay, because we want that in there. I always overstuff. I really do. That's why my kits are like, I want this one to be small, like a small newborn. Not quite 0 to 3. I want it to be a true newborn size. Okay, so I put polyfill around the bum down here and in the front with a right here. Okay, so now look at her, and you can move her legs now really easily because she's filled up more. Okay, now we're going to put the arms on. Okay, I do the head last. We're going to do the same thing. Make sure left is left and right is right. I start it a little bit. Okay, this is the right. I'm going to put this in. And you just kind of keep doing that. See, I want it to move. I want her to have free, but I don't want it to pop out. Okay, still movable, but will not pop out. Okay, now we're gonna do the other side. Need another zip tie. And with these kits, when you buy them from iCradle, and I think iCradle's on Amazon too, but I'm not positive. But I got mine off of Temu. And right now this particular kit is like 14 bucks, which is a pretty good deal, considering it's normally like 80 something. Want this one to move. It moves. Okay, so now we have her all set. So we're going to set her right here because we have to make her body, which is going to use a lot of this, but we're going to do the head first. And depending on how heavy you want it, I'm just going to use just like we did with the butt, because I don't want her head to be too heavy. And where you place it is how it's going to flop. And you can take a piece of this wafer and put it inside here so that her head smells good, or you can just put the whole thing in with the body. I'm just going to put it in with the body. But you can cut it into pieces. And what I do with the head, oh, I didn't even check to see if we can get this in here. Okay. I forgot. Okay. So this is about what I want to do, how much I want. But because I should have, okay. I gotta dump this back. And you want to make sure you do this very carefully so you don't spill it. Okay. Put this in first. I forgot. If the hole's too small, I hope you didn't do it yet. If the hole's too small, like this one is, we're going to put the nylon around the edge here. And we are going to put, because I already know this is how much I want to use, because it's going to weigh her head pretty good. So you want that in there. See, now it's in there, okay? And you can push it up so you can make the knot. Okay, drop that down in there. Now, if you want her head to flop back, then you can put it towards the back. That's where I have mine right now, so her head's like right there. If you don't want her to do that, and you want it in the middle, then you put her head upside down, put it in the middle, and then she won't flop back and forth. If you want her to flop forward, then you move it to the front. So we're gonna kind of keep it like that, kind of towards the back, but not really. And now you're gonna fill this up with polyfill. I mean, if you've got it where you want it, put the doll's head right there. Don't move it. Keep it there. And we are going to put this polyfill in. And you can use your finger to move it over to where you need it. Okay. We are going to use more. This takes quite a bit. And her head, with anything, it will shift. Eventually, you know, everything gets, and you can stuff this as hard or as much as you want. And I think I'm only going to stuff her with this much right here, because I don't want it, I don't want the glass beads to move. All right. Okay. Put all that in there. So her glass beads are not in the back of her head, but it's kind of towards the back, like right in this area. And it's not in the front. So she's pretty good She's pretty good. And it'll flop back if I want it to, if I want to. Her magnets are in place. They are not gonna go anywhere. Okay, so now she is in there. We are gonna make her body now. And her body is probably going to be either 2 of these or 3 of these. And I think I measured it once. One thing of this is like a pound or something like that. Okay. So, and I don't want her to be too heavy, but I don't want her to be light either. Oops, got glass beads everywhere. I want to be careful because these glass beads do not pick up very well. Okay, they do not pick up well. And if you're trying to paint, it's not going to be very nice. It's not going to be very nice. Put these back, okay, out of the way. Okay, now we need, see, I think I'm going to need one more. I'm going to do 3. And that's probably overkill. I've probably been good with 2.5. And we're done with the glass beads. So you can move those out of your way. That's pretty good size right there. So I'm going to put a hole. I want it to be like a loaf of bread. Okay, and what we're going to do with this leftover is double it. Like that. Because, like I said, these glass beads make a mess. Okay, so we want her body to be kind of like that. Squishy and stuff. So we're going to set this inside here. Now, if you don't want her that heavy, or heavy at all, don't want to weight her at all, you don't have to do this part, you know. You can leave her the way you want it, okay? So I am going to actually take 2 of these. I'm going to cut it in half. And I'm going to put one on the top of this and one in the back. And I just stuck it inside the nylon thing, because we doubled it. Now I'm not going to put this on yet until I get her full with what I want to stuff her with, because I want to be able to put my hand in here. So I put some polyfill in the front and I put polyfill in the back and on the side. And if you want her to be, I'm calling it a her because that's what mine is. If you don't want her head to go all over the place, you want to make sure you put a lot up in the front. Okay, here she is. And she is a chunk. See? She's chunky. She's chunky. And I really didn't want her to be that chunky. Okay. See, you can squeeze it out a little. Okay, I'm not going to because she is going to settle. And I don't want to have her settle too much. Okay, so now you got to make sure that you put this in right. So when it goes to the other side, okay. didn't give me a very big one. I have some that I can use, but I'm not going to. I'm going to just use this. Okay. It's in there so it's not going to get off. So here she is, and I'm telling you, she's probably 3.5, 4 pounds something. We'll find out in just a minute. So now we're going to do the same thing with this, with her head. We want her head to move, but we don't want it to pop off like that. Okay? So put it back on. That's why you got to be careful with these dolls, because little kids will be rough, and can you imagine how devastating it would be for your head to see? And she's floppy, but not too floppy. And we can move her arm. We can move this arm. We can move her head. And we can move her legs. Okay, girly, you're so cute. She is way cute. And she's like my squinchy. Look at her. See? So cute. Okay, so let's pick up a little bit. Get this stuff. Oh, I didn't put the thing in her neck. You don't have to, but it's a good idea to do it. I did not do it with her. Whoops. Sorry. But if you want to, go ahead and get that, put that in. I'm just in a hurry to get her done. I just want to get her done because she's so... And I saved the zip ties. And now we will get the get the scale. Let me get it off here. Okay. I have a little scale here. I can lift this up if I want and set her up. I don't usually do that. Turn it on. We'll guesstimate, see how much she weighs. All right. I'll get her to stay. Perfect. Ah, I guessed good. I am good. I'm going to write it down in my little book so I can put it in my other book upstairs. She is 4. I'm going to put eye cradle. And she's going to be my purple baby girl. Okay, 4 pounds, 14 ounces. So, and her birthday is not going to be today because I haven't cut any of her things. That's going to be in a different video. So she's going to sit here for a few days, maybe a week, until I can get to her to do her birth video, and then I'll do her box opening. So, but there you go, guys. Here is our reborn baby. So 3 parts, probably be more than that, 3 parts to put her together. Then we'll do her birth video and her box opening. So there we go. There she is. See, she's nice and cuddly. She's so perfect. So I'm not going to do, I could do her birth video because then I can get her dressed and do all that. So maybe I will do her birth video, but her box opening will be separate. I mean, it's going to be a few videos. So we got this, we got these 3, then the third, 3, 4, 5. So there'll be 5 parts, okay? Not as big as the girl nursery. So there you go. There's our putting her together. I hope you had fun. You can do it with any doll, painted, non-painted. You could get a silicone if you wanted to, a partial, and get the body and the silicone limbs and stuff, and then you can have a silicone baby. You do not have to paint them. The silicone you will have to powder and keep so it's not tacky, but you have to do that after you paint it anyway. So, but it's up to you how you want to do it. So I just thought I'd share. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it, and we'll see you in the next video.